lies and buying time, killing people next in line. Lower class and social slime, they don't matter. Genocide, sick from water, sick from air. Making money, they don't care. Caesar shit, force of air. Fuck them back, it's only for they bomb. They shoot, they kill, they massacre, rape. They burn the kids, no one makes countries. Laugh to your face, fight and die, 'cause God forgives. Selling lies and buying time, killing people next in line. Lower class and social side, they don't matter. Genocide, sick from water, sick from air. Making money, they don't care. See their shit, force a bear. Fuck them back, that's only fair. They bomb, they shoot, they kill, they massacre, rape. They burn the kids, no one makes countries. Lie to your face, fight and die, 'cause God forgives. Yeah. Coming back around again.
We're in. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies for being a couple minutes late. I just walked in the door, and for that I apologize. I'm trying to help my friend get his house together, and we're running a couple minutes late. We've worked our absolute tails off today, got a whole bunch accomplished that I'm really proud of and happy because his renovation is coming along really nice. It's going to be a beautiful spot, and so basically, my apologies for being late. Not a whole hell of a lot I can do about it. Anyways, today is what I want to talk about tonight is deception, I guess. You know, yeah. Hi, everybody in chat. I apologize for being a couple minutes late. the homeowner was saying, you're running out of time, Ron. We got to ride before we get you back to town to do the show. And I said, I want to get this mudded in before I get out of here. So we pushed the hell out of it and got what we wanted accomplished. And so we did okay. We're just, a couple minutes late. Now, if I can find this, Lee, here it is right here in front of my face. Beautiful. I want to talk about, and I don't care if you're in America, Australia, Britain, I don't care where you are on this planet, okay? We are being pounded into the ground. Actually, the little town I was working in, which is a little town of about 800 people, about 10 minutes north of me, that's where I was today. I was over at the store the other day, and I was telling the people there was a big storm ready for Toronto or something, and I said, I hope they bury that place. I hope the storm absolutely buries that place, okay? Because that is what's causing us all our problems. Just like D.C. is causing the Americans all their problems, and your state governments are causing you all their problems, because they're all beholden to the federal governments. It doesn't matter where you live. Okay, if there's a federal government, the state government does what the federal government tells it to do, and the local government does what the state government tells it to do, and it's all a complete deception. Now, we have so I'm talking to these ladies in the store, and the radio's playing as they've been listening to the radio, and they said, "Well, it's kind of background noise, really." But I'm saying, I hope this storm that's coming absolutely buries Toronto, like maybe under 300 feet of snow, would make me happy. And, we're up in rural Ontario. Ontario is a huge place. You can drop Britain into Ontario 4 times. There's still lots of room left over. California, you can drop into Ontario, and you go, what's that? I mean, it's a huge, huge province. But we have this thing along the 401, which borders the Americans, and that's where most of the population lives. We have a province. I don't know if it's bigger than Texas. Maybe, I don't know, but we only have 15 million people living here, and most of them live along the 401, which is the main artery, and which runs along the American border. About let's see, probably about maybe a third of us live in the rest of the province. And if you pull up a map of Ontario and you see that little wee ribbon along the American border, and then pull back and look at the actual size of Ontario, excuse me. The little bit of space that takes up compared to the size of the province is next to nothing, and that's where the majority of the population lives. Maybe at least 2/3 of it. And so, like the lady said at the store, she said they're sucking us dry. They're sucking us freaking dry, and that's absolutely correct. And I don't care where you live, Australia, Britain, America, wherever, the same thing's going on. You know it. And it's all based on the deception. So we have a new prime minister here, Justin Trudeau. And there's such a thing as called the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation, which is the father of Justin Trudeau. And just like George Bush Sr., George Bush Jr., and now his other brother's running for whatever. These are all families. They're all families. Like, how is it possible that after Pierre Trudeau retired, I think in the 80s, early 80s, how is that, or mid 80s, how is it possible out of 34 million people in the country, his son becomes the prime minister? How is it possible that they're saying that Brian Mulroney's daughter should take over the Conservative Party? How is that possible? How is it possible that Brian Mulroney, who signed us onto Agenda 21 and put Maurice Strong of all people into the Privy Council, which is the Queen's Council, how is it possible that his daughter's standing up now to be the new leader of the Conservative Party? It's not possible. How is it 34 million people in this country and we keep getting the same damn families? How is that possible? It's not possible. It's a deception. It's a fraud. It's a crock. And so anyways, this Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation. Now this blows me away. This thing absolutely blows me away. And the reason I ended up here was that somebody left a comment on something I had on my blog, which is canadiantruths.wordpress.com, and mentioned Andrea Sasha Trudeau, and that this guy had been doing films on Libya and Dakar and all these other different places, I think maybe Syria, of which all these refugees are coming from. And so through a bunch of, links and that, I ended up at the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation, which is what I really want to talk about tonight. And it was founded in 2001. The Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation is an independent and nonpartisan Canadian charity. The foundation supports creative and critical thinkers who make meaningful contributions to critical social issues through scholarships, fellowships, mentorships, and public interaction events. To date, the foundation has granted hundreds of major awards to top researchers and highly accomplished individuals in Canada and abroad. All sounds really kind of okie dokie. Leadership, the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation has had four presidents since its inception in 2001. The first president and CEO of the foundation, Dr. Stephen J. Toope, Toope, took up his position at the beginning of August 2002. An interim president, Dr. Frederick H. Lowy, served from June 2006 to October 2006 after Toope left to become president of the University of British Columbia. Dr. Pierre Gellier Forrest, formerly Chief Science at Health Canada, was president of the foundation from November 2006 to September 2013. Tim Brohead became interim president and chief executive officer as of September 17th, 2013. In April 2014, Morris Rosenberg was appointed president and chief executive officer. Now, this is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. This is an ex-prime minister, Pierre Elliott Trudeau, who was great friends with Fidel Castro, who, tripped around the countryside before he came, or tripped around the world before he became prime minister, to places like India and Pakistan and all over the place. And he was Jesuit trained, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and he was a member of the Club of Rome, and he was intricately wound to Morris Strong and the Rockefeller Foundation, and many others. This was our prime minister who we got suckered by. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The guy's a freaking communist. Anyways, and this is what kills me. You don't read this crap in the newspapers. You don't see this garbage on the national news. And that's why I tell everybody, throw their damn TVs out. Please, please, please throw your TV out. Shoot the damn thing or have a funeral service for it, whatever. Okay? It's worse than crack. It is far more dangerous than crack. It has destroyed more minds than crack would ever hope to destroy. Anyways, in 2002, the government of Canada endowed the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation. Okay, this is your tax dollars at work, people. In 2002, the government of Canada endowed the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation with $125 million. $125 million of your money, You paid for that shit. That's your money. $125 million so that they can continue to push the global agenda, which is designed to destroy you. And they gave the Trudeau Foundation $125 million. Now, the guy died in the 80s, and then this foundation was set up. Oh, here's $125 million to get you going. And it was used to fund the creation of a program for advanced studies in the social sciences and the humanities. Now, I have been saying this. If you listen to this show, and some of you might think that, Jesus, is this guy nuts or what? What is this crap between man and human? Why does he keep ranting on about you're not a human? Okay, you're a man, you're a woman, but you ain't a human. Okay? Now, I was fooling around last night, and I put in human. I just Googled human, and I went to pictures, okay? And what comes up? Okay, what comes up? Monkeys or apes transforming themselves in some miraculous manner over a particular period of time into man. How is that possible? Well, it ain't possible. It's that freaking simple. It ain't possible. So when you Google human and or whatever search engine you use, and you put in human, you will find the ape, monkey, whatever, chimpanzee, turning somehow miraculously into a man. Now, if you punch in man, you don't see that. You just see pictures of man. And that's what they've done, okay? They hoodwinked you. They absolutely hoodwinked you. If you think you're a human, you deserve everything you get because you're an animal. They treat you as an animal, and so be it. If you want to be that, go ahead, be that. I'm looking for guys that want to be men. I'm looking for women that want to be women. I want people who want to take this word human and tell them to stuff it where the sun don't shine. Okay? It's a ruse. It's an absolute ruse used to deceive and enslave you. But we got to get over this nonsense of humanities and humanitarian and humans. We got to get over that crap. It is an absolute, complete, and total, huge and deception that has been applied against you people. Anyways, the fund was signed in March 2002 between the Government of Canada and the Foundation, outlining the obligations of the Foundation in handling public funds in regards to investment strategy, governance, and program delivery. The Foundation also solicits private funding for targeted projects. That would be the Rockefeller Foundation and the Carnegie Foundation and the Ford Foundation and so on and so forth. Okay, that's what these clowns are up to. They're all intertwined. Now, the mission of the foundation encourages emerging talent through the awarding of Trudeau scholarships to the most talented doctoral students in Canada and abroad. Entrusts Trudeau fellows and mentors distinguished for their knowledge and wisdom with the mission to build an intellectual community to support the work of these scholars. Creates and maintains an international network of Trudeau Fellows, scholars, and mentors. The whole problem is the internationalization of everything, okay, which the Trudeau Foundation, which was given $125 million of your tax dollars, your labor, stolen from you to fund this clown outfit that is pushing a world government. Okay? Trudeau wants to bring all these Syrians in because, well, hell, we're Canadians, right? And this is the whole game. It's just another piece of the game. Anyways, the mission of the foundation is to encouraging emerging talent. Okay, we already done that. Themes. let's see, human rights and dignity. The purpose of pursuing and establishing civil, political, economic, and social rights is to preserve and promote human dignity in all its aspects and dimensions. Again, not the dignity of man. Okay? It's not about the dignity of man. It's about human dignity. This thing that used to be a monkey or an ape and turned into this man thing. All human beings should be able to lead a life within society that reflects their common values and aspirations in spite of differences. Well, who comes up with this idea of what a common value even is? All right, remember that. Who comes up with this idea? Who decides what a common value is? Now, we also go on to responsible citizenship. While powerful forces are pushing for integration on a planetary scale, cultural, ethnic, and religious divisions appear to be growing stronger. No kidding. With an increasing risk of loss of social cohesion, the rights and obligations conferred by citizenship are not equitably distributed at local, national, or global levels. In the global economic context, the separation between the private and public spheres of responsibility has begun to blur. Exactly. And who said it better than Rockefeller in 1999 at Baden-Baden, Germany, I believe it was. Could be wrong on that, but I believe that's where it was. Is that something has to take the place of government, and business seems to be the obvious entity to do it. Yes, so now we have this total blurring between private and public spheres of responsibility. Absolutely, because it's planned that way. Proponents of true democracy acknowledge the pluralist environment in a spirit of tolerance and shared social responsibility. What the hell does that line even mean? Huh? Proponents of true democracy acknowledge the pluralist environment in a spirit of tolerance and shared social responsibility. Anyways, let's move on to Canada in the world. Canada's tradition of responsible engagement in international affairs is an integral part of our identity through experiences such as immigration, travel, and instant global communications. The Canadian public has become more aware of complex international realities. Now, just to stop there for a second, more aware of complex international realities. You got to go back to the Rockefeller Foundation, Ford, Carnegie, pick your foundation. But these are the guys that set up the United Nations. And where am I here? Yes, more complex international realities. These aren't realities at all. They're all fictions. These are lunatics who come up with ideas, and we don't challenge them on it. Okay, we just don't challenge them on it because most people aren't informed of these realities that these guys are bringing to us. So, has become more aware of complex international realities. Well, here's a complex international reality for you that's going on around the world. Harper, who was our last prime minister, stood at the G20 in 2010 and stood at the podium and stated, "This is a loss of national sovereignty." Well, who's at this meeting of the G20? The IMF, World Bank, and yada 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 yada. Okay. So we have the Canadian public has become more aware of complex international realities. Absolutely untrue statement. The Canadian public has no clue what's going on. And you can take that cluelessness and you can drop it into Britain and Germany and Poland and Greece and Australia. You can drop it anywhere you want. This idea that the the public has become more aware of the complex international realities is ridiculous because the media doesn't put this out. Anyways, whether they relate to commerce, culture, or security, our concepts of risk, social obligation, and engagement are evolving. We have a clear need to rethink foreign policy and reflect on the opportunities and challenges that affect Canada's role in critical areas such as environmental protection and cooperation between nations, okay? In other words, we are one, and we who are running the show are basically, on top of the castle, and you people go suck air. People in their natural environment. Environmental issues are pervasive. Oh, yes, they must certainly be. A source of concern for individuals around the globe. Competition for food, water, clean air, and natural resources is leading to conflict. Like other nations, Canada must acknowledge the degradation of the natural environment and the threat this poses to the health and security of Canadians. New sustainable ecological measures and human adaptation may reduce the risk of confrontation among different sectors of societies and countries. The concept of environmental justice will drive, changes in economic, politics, and social order. Okay, and this is back to the order out of chaos. Okay. None of what these people are saying is true. Okay? None of these things are true. We don't have, environmental problems are pretty simple. Okay? And I agree with that part of it. If you mess it up, you clean it up. You don't clean it up, we'll sue your ass. Okay? If that don't work, we'll throw you in jail. I don't give a shit. Okay? But Canada is the second largest landmass country on the planet, with this paltry little population of 34 million people. Anything that's written here has no bearing on this country whatsoever. None. Absolutely none. All propaganda all the time. And don't forget, in 2002, the Trudeau Scholarship Fund was handed $125 million of your money to propagate nothing but lies, deceptions, and frauds. You should be ticked off large. Okay, now we're going to get into some of these scholarships. This blows me away. Up to 15 Trudeau scholarships are awarded each year to support doctoral candidates pursuing research of compelling present-day concern. Well, what a present-day concern? It's a problem-reaction solution. We make up false problems. We pay these guys to come up with solutions or find the problems and come up with the solutions. Then we use the media and that to get everybody all excited about it and get to the solution that they had already figured out when they figured out the problem, which was a false problem to start with. It's freaking sickening. Okay. Doctoral candidates pursuing research of compelling present-day concern touching on one or more of the four themes of the foundation. Scholars are typically highly talented individuals who are actively and concernedly engaged in their field and accepted to becoming leading national and international figures. Okay, this is like the hockey scouts. Okay, it's like the hockey scouts. Why do you think you got a university? For intelligence, for knowledge? No. Okay, who will accept our dogma? Okay, and they send their people in because these scholarships and that are always funded by these foundations and that. Who can we get that is so totally brainwashed into our way of thinking that we can get them to continue to push it? Those are the people we're going to fund. Okay? So, when they say expected to become leading national, international figures, these people are all vetted, and they're really quite stupid people. Okay, through ego stroking and some cash, they get these people to believe they're actually really intelligent and doing the right thing, which is totally ass backwards, of course. Trudeau scholars are encouraged to work with Trudeau mentors and fellows. Interaction with the Trudeau community, non-academic spheres, and the general public is an essential element of the scholarship program. The Trudeau Scholarship Program has rapidly become recognized as among the most prestigious doctoral awards in Canada for students interested in major social and public policy issues. Annual value $60,000 per year per scholar, including an annual travel, research, and public engagement allowance of $20,000. So that would come to $80,000. And these are for people. This is all set up as a template out of the foundations, like the Rockefeller foundations and that. Okay, they grease your palm, you write the papers they want written. Simple as that. Overall value, 240,000 Canadian over 4 years, 3 years, and possibly 1 year renewal. Number of scholarships awarded from 203 to 214, 170. Annual competition opens in October, closes in January. Canadian and foreign students apply through their universities, which is nothing more than a incubation program, an indoctrination program. Universities may submit 6 to 8 of their best students to the competition. Pre-selection interviews are conducted by external review panels. New scholars are announced in May. So you see, if you got a kid in university and the kid says, "Oh my goodness, I'm up for a Trudeau scholarship," well, the whole family and the local neighborhood will be in the local papers. "Oh, this is so freaking wonderful." How's it wonderful? Okay. These guys are pushing a world order, a world government, which totally destroys your nation. How is that possibly a good thing? Anyways, we have a bunch of scholars, and it started way back. I guess the first scholarships were in, 204 was the first scholarships. Now, we have also the Trudeau Fellowships. Up to 5 Trudeau Fellows are chosen each year in recognition of outstanding achievement, innovative approaches to issues of public policy, and commitment to public engagement. The Foundation provides support for the Fellows to make extraordinary contributions in their fields through leading-edge research and creative work. Now, if it's leading-edge research in that, I would think that the Trudeau Foundation ought to be funding me and a whole bunch of other really good researchers. But we ain't going to get any money from these guys because we got our heads screwed on straight, okay? We didn't allow our egos to be stroked, okay? We didn't get sucked in by this flattery nonsense. Okay, we got our feet solidly on the ground, so we ain't ever going to get any funding from any foundation, let alone the Trudeau Foundation. And that's okay, because we're going to kick their butts in the end here. The aims of the fellowship program are threefold. First, it is intended to reward exceptional individuals who use evidence and creativity to inform public discourse and policy. Second, it fosters the best multidisciplinary research and knowledge dissemination within the social sciences and the humanities. Finally, it strives to establish Trudeau Fellows and outstanding participants within the universities to challenge and encourage the next generation of scholars. In other words, the next MLK, what do they call it? MLK Ultra initiatives. Right? Those who can easily be brainwashed, who are easily suckered and deceived. These are the people who get paid for this stuff. And the overall value of that is 225,000 Canadian. But it goes on, so this goes down. And there's a pile of names in here. And before the show's over, I'm going to dump this in here. And I want people to search these names out. And I think you will find most of these people are attached to pushing the UN agenda. Okay? Now, we have Trudeau mentorships. Up to 12 Trudeau mentors are appointed each year. The mentorship program seeks to forge intellectual and personal bonds between renowned Canadians with extensive experience in public life and talented young doctoral students who have been awarded Trudeau scholarships. Mentors are drawn from a wide array of professional backgrounds, including the arts, journalism, business, public service, the legal profession, research, and advocacy. Trudeau mentors have typically earned a nationwide and international reputation based on achievements in their own particular field and are able to introduce scholars to their networks. All about networking. Trudeau mentor candidates are screened and selected by independent file review committee composed of a majority of senior decision makers and social entrepreneurs, including leading members of media, business, and social and policy community. Overall value, 35,000 Canadian over 4 years, including travel expenses, 15 grand. Mentors nominated between 2004 and 2015 is 105, yada, yada, yada. Now, as you go down this list, you start to see more and more names with links to them, okay? And that's important. Check these people out. Find out what these people are involved in. Find out the connections between the Rockefeller Foundation, or the Ford Foundation, or any number of foundations, but check these people out. These people are all working against your best interest. Make no mistake about it. Okay? Now, some of the names in here I am more than aware of, and have dealt with some of these people in the past. So as we go down the list of these mentors, we have Lloyd Axworthy. Now, Lloyd Axworthy was in the government. Lloyd Axworthy is also a member of the UNPA, which is the United Nations Parliamentary Assembly, pushing for a United Nations global parliament, which supersedes the parliament of this nation, or this so-called nation. And so he's a mentor. So he's being paid to go out and con young people, those young people who have been scouted, just like hockey players and football players are scouted and brought into the fold. That's Mr. Lloyd Axworthy. And if you haven't been to the UNPA, I strongly advise you do that. Just go UNPA, plug it in, you will get there, and you will find that people like Justin Trudeau, our present Prime Minister, is a member, and so very many other politicians from all parties. That's the beauty of it. From all parties are members of this thing. And so these people, regardless of what party that you're thinking is going to save your ass or this country's ass, are all members of this United Nations Parliamentary Assembly. Now, Raymond Chrétien, which Chrétien used to be the Prime Minister here, Donald Johnson, who I think was in government, Maureen McTeer, which is the wife of, she's a lawyer, she's the wife of our former Prime Minister Joe Clark. These people are all working in the background. You don't see this stuff, right? You see TV shows. You see conversations about, is Trump the real guy? Is he the real deal? Can he beat Hillary Clinton? All this noise people are subjected to on the media, which has nothing to do with it. You want to know what's going on, you get into the background. You search out these names. You see what these people are attached to. People think these people disappear once they have left government. Okay. Just a slew of these people. Everybody that's ever been in government, everybody that's ever been in Canada, are part of the Privy Council. Okay. We don't have a government here. Okay. We have a governing body here. We have a CEO, which would be Justin Trudeau. We have a board of directors of the company. But this so-called government is a complete ruse, okay, because they are all classed as employees of the head of state, which just happens to be in England, which just happens to be the Queen. So how can these people represent you? Well, obviously they can't, okay? They're corporate players. Now, we have Elizabeth May is a mentor of the Trudeau Foundation. Okay, Elizabeth May is a cracker. She's an American. She is a lawyer. She's the leader of the Green Party. She was one of the signatories to the Earth Charter with Maurice Strong, Mikhail Gorbachev, and I think it was Stephen Rockefeller, and a host of other people. Says she's a Christian, which is just makes one laugh. She's a complete idiot and a dangerous one at that. And I encourage everyone to just Google Cloak of Green, or go to my blog, CanadianTruths.wordpress.com, and punch in the search engine on the blog, Cloak of Green, and read the damn book. And you will get a very good understanding of the environmental movement, and Elizabeth May, and Maurice Strong, and all of these players. Ed Broadbent, who used to be a leader of the NDP, is a mentor. So let's see here. We got a mentor from the Green Party. We have a mentor for the NDP party, Pierre Pettigrew. I can't remember if he's a liberal or who he was. I think he was a liberal. Alan Blakeney, who was up to his neck in UN crap. He's dead now. I have a story about Alan Blakeney on my blog, again, CanadianTruths.wordpress.com, and if you punch in Alan Blakeney, you will find a story on that gentleman. We have Elizabeth Dowdeswell, who is a mentor, a freaking mentor, 2004 mentor of the Trudeau Foundation, who came to us directly from the United Nations, and is presently in the position of Lieutenant Governor, that is in place of Queen, in the province of Ontario. And she is the second signator on Local Agenda 21, with Maurice Strong being the first introductory signator on a Local Agenda 21. So how are these people that are supposedly, Trudeau is supposed to be the great Canadian, how are all of these people who are connected to UNPA, connected to the United Nations, all pushing for world government, how is it these people all end up in the Trudeau Foundation as mentors? Good question. So I'm going to put this in at the end of the show, and I want people to take a look at it. You got to understand the background. I know most of the people listen to this show, and I know most of the people in the chat get all this stuff already. But and again, it doesn't matter where you live. It's to encourage. The whole idea is encourage people to think. And when people think, then they're forced to ask questions. Okay, think about something that matters, not about who is sleeping with who in a soap opera, or who is going to be the last one on the island, or whatever these shows are they do of Survivor and shit like this. No, actual thinking. Actual thinking about something that actually matters will lead you to questions. So we need to shove this out far and wide. Anyways, Public Interaction Program, the Trudeau Foundation Public Interaction Program, which is PIP, is designed to integrate the Foundation's 3 grant-giving programs, providing recipients with opportunities to learn and exchange research, ideas, proposals that focus on specific questions, and to share the relevant knowledge with colleagues from different disciplines and varied cultural backgrounds. I can hear the conversations, we were convinced that global warming is real because it's been told to us throughout our total educational process. So then now that we agree that global warming is real, we must find some solutions to it. This is a kind of mindset that goes on here. It's all based on a false start. Okay, they're not coming out from a reality. They're starting in a fictional place, and then they're trying to find ways to solve the fictional problem. And it is a fictional problem, and these people are crazy. In addition to PIP events organized by the Foundation, members of the Trudeau community are encouraged to organize PIP events on major issues of public policy that affect Canadians and global society. Finally, the Foundation collaborates with other institutions and organizations to advance discussion in wider fields. Purpose of PIP events: knowledge acquisition, knowledge transfer, and knowledge exchange. Number of PIP events held from 2003 to 2011, 91. Total attendance to PIP events more than 1,000 per year. Now, 1,000 per year sounds like a pretty small number, but when you're talking about professors and other educators and politicians and those from the arts who have influence with those that are below them, okay, that 1,000 people becomes a very wide brush across our so-called society. The Board of Directors. The Foundation is governed by an independent and pan-Canadian Board of Directors, board members who serve for renewable terms of 2 years. The board and the committee, Audit Committee, Finance Investment Committee, Application and Nomination Review Committee, support the Foundation President in strategic decisions and implementation of diligent and transparent management practices. Okay, so we have current board of members, Mr. Roy L. Heenan, and he's an LLP, the Honorable Michael Baster Chess Counsel LLP, former Justice of the Superior Court of Canada, David L. Emerson, Corporate Director, Public Policy and Business Advisor, Alexander Himfarb, former Ambassador of Canada to the Italian Republic, Dr. Shavia Hosek, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Canadian Institute of Advanced Research. Now, you don't hear any of these names on the TV, okay? You don't read about these people in the newspapers. You don't hear about these people in any news source. And the current board members, we also have Mr. Alexandre Trudeau. That is Justin Trudeau's younger brother. These guys are all getting paid out of this fund. Okay, and he's a documentary filmmaker. And he's all up on, oh my goodness, all these people in these other countries are being thrown out of their homes and their countries, and they're all migrants, and they're all refugees and that. So we have the brother of the guy who's bringing all the immigrants in here, who makes a living making documentaries about the migrant problem. Too sweet. And he's getting paid from the Trudeau Foundation. Okay, we got to take this place back. Okay, we have lunatics running it. Former board members, I love this. Paul G. Desmarais, Paul Desmarais Jr. Okay, now most of our prime ministers since Power Corp got running have come out of Power Corp. Now Paul Desmarais, tight as hell with Maurice Strong, and Maurice Strong went to China. Paul Desmarais has set up a thing and is dragging all our premiers, mayors to China. Okay, these people are treasonous dogs, man. The Honorable William G. Davis, who's to be the premier, Conservative Premier of Ontario. I don't know who this Louise Frechette is. I got to check all these people out. Honorable Marc Lalonde, who brought us, he was also real tight with Trudeau, and he was also a member of the Club of Rome. And he brought us really the precautionary principle, which is the principle used to bring in the renewable energy, the program to the precautionary principle is the most ridiculous principle on the planet, because this is where your climate change nonsense comes from. Well, we can't be sure that if the climate's even warming, and we can't be sure if our models are correct, and we can't be sure if we can figure out 100 years out, or now about 80 years out, if in fact the climate is going to warm more than 2 degrees, and if in fact that's going to cause chaos throughout the planet, and if in fact that's going to eradicate all of the people on the planet and all the animals and so on and so forth. We can't be 100% sure, but because we use a precautionary principle, even if we don't have any real data, we can make up a problem. Because of the precautionary principle, it's better to be precautionary than wrong. Even though you're wrong to start with, that's how they push these programs forward. And that is, thank you, Mr. Marc frickin' Lalonde. Peter Lougheed, conservative, from Alberta, run the place for years and years and years, up to his ass in the UN. And who else we got here? Bob Rae, NDP. He is the godfather of Maurice Strong, who Bob Rae appointed to destroy our electrical system and internationalize it. Treasonous, deceptive garbage. Okay? Now, this is the Trudeau Foundation, for crying out loud. Okay? We have the Greens involved in it. We have the NDP involved in it. We have private companies like Power Corp, which Maurice Strong was the head of, which brought many prime ministers. Chrétien, who is a former prime minister. His daughter is married to the Desmarais. Does it sound like Camelot yet to you people? Does it sound a whole lot like Camelot? Okay? We have got to take control of these lands. And when I say these lands, I mean America. D.C., the federal government in America, has nothing to do with America whatsoever. Okay, you've been hoodwinked, you've been enslaved, you're screwed over, okay, by this little place that isn't even part of America. We got to cut this crap loose. We, the people, own these lands. We, the people, are responsible for these lands. We, the people, are responsible for the outcome of what's going on here. And if we just keep laying back and staying ignorant, well, we're going to be in some serious, serious trouble, which we already are. But the trouble they're moving us to is going to look, what we think we're in trouble now is going to look pretty freaking minor compared to what they got on the books for us here. Okay? Foundation manager. Okay? We have a whole slew of these people. We got William Davis, John English, It goes on and on and on and on with these names. Mark Lalonde again. I want the people that live here. Roy Romano. I mean, give me a freaking break. These people are all internationalists. They don't represent you, and so on and so forth. So foundation members, we have Mr. Alexandre Trudeau. Okay, now the reason he was called, he's nicknamed Sasha, but his name is Alexandra, and that's because Trudeau was so impressed with the Russians. Wait a minute, weren't you the prime minister of our country? You're buddies with Castro, and you're buddies with the Russians. Now, how is that possible? And that's where Alexandre's name come from, because Daddy was so impressed with the Russians. And we also have another member here, Mr. Justin Trudeau, who just happens to be our prime minister. Okay? This is treason and tyranny at the highest level, written to you, told to you, and written down. And you never hear about this in the newspaper. You never hear about this in the media. You never turn on your radio when you're driving around your car or truck and hear any of this stuff. It is all hidden from you. Okay? While they entertain you, as they keep you in a child position, a mental child position. Okay? That these are your leaders. These are not your leaders. Okay? They have nothing to do with leadership. Okay? They are criminals. Absolute and total criminals. Now, I'm going to put this in. Now, this is just off of Wikipedia, but I also want people to actually go to I don't have time for that tonight. Go to the actual, read through this stuff, look at this stuff, check out some of these names, see who they're connected to. It's vitally important you know who these people are and who they're connected to, because they, not the news and not the newspapers and not your TV, are going to tell you the truth. Okay? So follow some of these people down. There's just a horde of these people. Follow them through. Figure out what they're talking about and who they are and who they're connected to. And if you find something really interesting, and then send it to me. Okay? And you can send me emails at Canada Live at TNT. That's like Tom Nancy Tom or TNT. 21.com. Okay? I want to know what you find, because if you're not looking, then you're not participating. And if you're not participating, then you ain't going to help anybody down the road. Okay? This is not about entertainment. This is about getting back what belongs to us. That's all this belongs about. So go to the actual Trudeau site. I don't know if I still have that up real tight here or not. I could shove it in, but I don't think I have it up right in front of me right now, which I don't. Yeah, go to the other site. Go to the actual site. See who these people are connected to, and string it out, and then shout it from the frickin' rooftops. 2016, I have no doubt in my mind, is the year that we either rock the boat hard enough to get it back right side up, or we don't. And if we don't, we're going to find ourselves serious. Anyways, that was the cow, and thank you.
Selling lies and buying time, killing people next in line, lower class and social slime, they don't matter, genocide, sick from water, sick from air, making money, they don't care, seize the shit, force them in, fuck them back, it's only for they want, they shoot, they kill, they master, rape, they burn the kids, no one thinks countries, lie to your face.